July the 21st, 2020. Guys, you're looking at the 5-day graphical outlook from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Disturbance number 1, which is just off the southern Florida tip right there between there and Cuba, now has a 40% chance of cyclone formation. This tropical wave is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over western Cuba, the northwestern Bahamas, southern Florida, and the adjacent Atlantic and Caribbean waters. Gradual development of the system is possible while it moves west-northwest during the next few days. The system is expected to move over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico later today, the central Gulf Wednesday, and the northwestern Gulf on Thursday and Friday. And also, an Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft is scheduled to investigate the system this afternoon if necessary. Now, the system that is in the Atlantic. Now, disturbance number 2, guys, is at a 60% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. Showers and thunderstorms have become better organized in association with a low-pressure system located about midway between the west coast of Africa and the Lesser Antilles. Environmental conditions are expected to be somewhat conducive for development, and a tropical depression could form during the next day or two while the low moves westward at around 10 miles an hour over the tropical Atlantic. By the weekend, less favorable conditions could limit additional development. Again, 60% chance here. Just a quick look at this map. You can see there's other disturbances that are trying to come off the African coast now. We got some of this dust that's starting to drift down. We'll see how that reacts with both of these systems. Now, this is the wide Atlantic satellite view. You can see the system as it becomes daylight forming right there again between Cuba and the southern tip of Florida. This system has a good rotation, disturbance number 2, and behind it again, guys, off the African coast, there's going to be systems moving off there for the rest of the season. What you're seeing in front of this disturbance number 2 is the sun right there, but to the right here, this is the dust cloud. So this storm is right on the edge of racing. Again, this glow that you see here is where the sun is tracking across the ocean. But if this storm stays out in front of the dust cloud, that won't bother it, but it will have an effect on what's coming off now. These come off in cycles, and no, we don't have asteroids hitting in weekly cycles in Africa. Now, the tracking models on disturbance number 2 in the Atlantic, as of 9 a.m. this morning, guys, are pretty much in the same path until they get very close to the Lesser Antilles. And then you've got the Canadian model that brings it a little further north, and some of your other models keep it in the center. And the Navy model actually shows it coming ashore in South America. So we've kind of got a wide array of paths once we get to this point, but right now, for the next day or so, it looks like it's going to hold straight. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models keeping it right in the center of what they call Hurricane Alley. So we'll be watching that. Now, looking at the satellite that's directly above Cuba, guys, you can see the southern tip of Florida right in the top center. Your Keys and Dry Tortugas there. What's happening is, if you look to the right side of your screen, you can see this wind pattern. This has a strong movement from the east to the west. And in this area, we're starting to get a little bit of upward push coming across the island. Now, they've got the storm predicted to come through, go up into the Texas coastline, but we'll have to watch it as I take these lines off. You'll see again this upward push here, and that may affect the steering of the storm. Check this out. Again, you've got your westerly movement here, and in this area you've got some northwest movement, so that could steer this thing a little more to the northern sections of the Gulf instead of just straight west. We're going to be watching it, guys. We'll update it this afternoon when if the hurricane hunters go out or whenever they update it. But the one that we're watching right now is about to get in very warm water. It's going to be off the coast. It's not going to be touching shore as soon as it gets through this Florida Straits. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.